chapter 1, verse 18. Come now.
Sorry, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 18?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come now, let us reason together, say the Lord. We read the Bible a lot. When you read it, you say, it's an experience. In the beginning, when God created the heaven and the earth. Genesis 1, verse 1. Going to Genesis 11. Genesis, verse 11. Genesis 11, verse 7. Let us go down there and confound their language, that they may not understand one another. In the beginning,
Maybe I'm foolish, maybe I'm blind. Subscribe!
Alright, so welcome back to another installment of I'm Only Human podcast. As you say, before me jump in the story, you know the procedure already. Give this video a thumbs up and also comment on the feedback below. So I'm going to jump in the story right now. Alright, so convicted leader of the one-down gang, Blackman, Brian, this morning quoted Bible scriptures from Psalms and Isaiah as he proclaims he's innocent and argued that the two ex-gangsters who testify against him was lying. Alright, the time is now, the truth shall be known, said Brian, who was convicted of being the leader of criminal organization and 7 counts of facilitating the commission of serious offense by criminal organization. The sentence hearing is being heard in the Home Circuit Court. The 30-year-old musician sporting short dreadlocks had insisted on speaking on his behalf despite objection from his lawyer, Floyd McFarlane. The pictures that the two witnesses painted is a blunt lie, he said. Brian, along with quoting scriptures, also highlighted Jamaican motto. Brian would describe himself as being conscious despite his academic deficiencies, stressed that people can say anything. Alright, so the charge of leadership of criminal organization attracts a minimum sentence of 30 years, while membership and facilitating both a maximum of 20 years. 30 years, Pumbo. Anyways, the judge also has the power under the anti-gang legislation to order at least 2 consecutive sentences. The lawyer also asked the judge, in passing the sentence of facilitating offense, to rule in a manner that it does not exceed 30 years. Alright, so that I want you to understand with gangsters. We know we come with being a gangster, jailhouse and death. And we refuse to acknowledge the fact say, yo, if you're a gangster, it's possible one of them things can happen to you. You see me? Additionally, he asked that his client be credited for the 5.5 years that he has already spent in custody. In the same vein, the lawyer pointed to Brian's community report, noted that it was mixed, as some persons want him to remain in prison while others are not opposed to him returning to the community if he is reformed. Meanwhile, lawyers of Michael Whitley and Tomic Taylor, who were convicted of being a member of criminal organization, argued that they are not beyond rehabilitation. Attorney Kimani, who is representing Taylor, submitted that this was his client's first conviction and gang conviction, which should be accepted as a mitigating factor. Noting that his client was raised single-handed by his mother and was influenced by violence and gang activities in his community. The lawyer urged the judge not to use sentence as means of retribution or prevention, as Taylor is a suitable candidate for. Attorney Kamisha Mitu, speaking on Whitley's behalf, expressed that he is not beyond redemption and has suffered loss. She asked that the judge to take into account that he did not have a father figure in his life. Additionally, the lawyer requested that the judge start at 10 years when calculating his sentence and credited him for the 5 years and 5 months that he was spent in custody. Alright, so first and foremost, most of the people from the ghetto don't go with their father. You see me, and that is not an excuse to turn to gang violence. You see me? I not say how he cannot cause you to lead to that road. But in the idea, it's a choice by the end of the day, you see me? So if you choose that, you have to suffer the consequences that come with it. Simple as that, you see me? Attorney at law Keith Bishop, in begging leniency for Lemar Sims, asked the judge to consider that he is developed a tuberculosis in prison and that the prison condition would not be conducive to his health. Alright, so the lawyer, who also quoted Bible scriptures that Jamaica is a Christian society and asked for forgiveness being shown to his client. The 34-year-old father of two was also convicted of being a part of a criminal organization. Bishop also asked that his client be credited for 4 years and 6 months that he has already spent in custody. Man, it's like the man realize, say the police and the JDA force and the judge and how dangerous them is. Man, that forced me to see this in history. I don't know if it happened before or not, but that forced me to see this. You have soldier outside the courtroom to secure the place in case anything happens. That's how dangerous the money is. You see me? That's how dangerous the Clansman gang is, brother. You see it, imagine, and you ask for lighter sentence.